Hey everybody, welcome back to today's update. I'm actually doing two updates today, but the first one is on my weight journey. It has been 1 year since going on this journey, and so I'm going to share the numbers, and then I have 1 year pictures, and then kind of go from there. If you saw the last update, you guys know that things got a little bit off with the diet for a number of reasons. One was, one big one was I had lost my job, and so I was eating the cheap food because I didn't know when I would get another job. So that was the big one. And then since that time, I've been back on it since getting a new job. But I've had more vacations than what are allowed. It's not a huge thing with it, because once I actually get to my ideal weight, which if I ever get there, it's probably way out of reach. But if I ever get there, then having those vacations are good, because then you're not feeling deprived of any food. So the diet got a little bit off, and then I wasn't 100% strict with it. Not anything terrible, but with trying to lose the weight, it's not the best thing either. And you can really tell my layers are not good when you can see the ponytail. The layers are kind of bad. That's why it's usually up in a bun or down, one of the two. Then you can't tell. To talk about the numbers, and if I'm a little slow on getting them out, just bear with me. I don't have my contacts in. I've got cat hair in my eyes, but not my contacts. So I started the Mediterranean diet weight loss journey on May 27th, 2019. And at that time, I weighed 227 pounds and 20 ounces. I think that's what the point is. So 227.20 was my weight. As of June 1st, my weight is 195 pounds. 195.2 pounds. From January was the time before June that I did my numbers and everything. So between January and June, I gained 4 pounds. Not bad. That's a 5-month time span. Not bad at all to only gain 4 pounds. And that was including some of the bad diet. Well, no. Well, I wasn't on the bad diet during that time, but the ripple effect still was, if that makes sense. So only gained 4 pounds. So for the year, I lost 32 pounds, which is awesome, because that is just from diet alone. That is not exercise. The physical therapy that I was doing was not enough to lose weight. And I haven't been doing the physical therapy lately. So 32 pounds in a year, I'll take that. Back a year ago, the bust measurement was 51.5 inches. It is down to 46.5 inches. So it's a loss of 5 inches. I'm not pudging as much, not overflowing the bra quite as much, so that's good. Waist, I started at 47 inches and I ended at 41 inches. I don't know how accurate the 41 is. Like I said, it's hard to make sure you get the same point every time. So I'm going to hopefully do that better. But it's supposedly a loss of 6 inches on the waist. I think that's a little high, but okay. Hips, I started off at 53.5 inches and ended at 49 inches for a loss of only 4.5 inches. That's probably the most accurate of those three measurements. Thighs, I started at 26.25 inches and I ended at 25.5 inches, so a loss of 3/4 of an inch. Biceps, I started at 16 3/4 and ended at 15 inches, so I lost 3/4 of an inch, or lost total of an inch and 3/4. And then the neck, which is where we expect to see the least weight loss. The neck was started at 15 3/4 inches and ended at 15, so a total loss of 3/4 of an inch, which that's pretty significant if you think about it. I didn't do bad at all when it comes to the weight loss and the numbers and not doing any exercise. It's just diet alone. I think the numbers speak for themselves. I have pics. So for this one, since it's the year date, I'm doing the very first set of pictures with the pictures from June 1st. So you can see the whole thing. I had Dad take the pictures, and so you can see the front, side, and back as they go up. But I had Dad do the pictures, and you think you're sucking your tummy in, and then you look at the pictures and you go, oh, it doesn't look like I'm sucking my stomach in at all. And of course, that's how they, all the weight loss ads and all that kind of stuff, that's how they do it. They have you not have good posture and all that for the very first photos, and then the last photos where they're showing how well the product worked, good posture, they have your makeup done up, your hair done up, you're sucking your stomach in. They definitely inflate their pictures. I would say some even go as far as doing Photoshop. Couldn't think of what the word was. I can't say all of them do that, but I would say definitely some do that. Oh, and another thing that we found out, if you look at my side and back pictures, you'll notice the redness. Dad thought I had sunburn, and I said, no, it's not sunburn. And he told me what it is. So we actually looked up what it is. And so the redness on my arms is actually keratosis pilaris. Painless bumps, typically on the upper arms, thighs, cheeks, or buttocks. Dry, rough skin in the areas with bumps. Worsening when seasonal changes cause low humidity and skin tends to be drier. Sandpaper-like bumps resembling goose flesh. And I get that. I've had it for a while. I had a PA, a physician assistant, tell me that it was dry skin. Dead skin cells from, I can't talk, dead skin cells from not exfoliating enough. But the treatment, and this also says, is often considered a variant of normal skin. It can be cured. It can't be cured or prevented, but you can treat it with moisturizers and prescription creams to help improve the appearance of the skin. Usually disappears by age 30. Well, I didn't get it until after I was 30. I'm way past 30, and now I'm getting it. So maybe I'm Benjamin Button. I'm not sure. But what it says is it's a result from the buildup of keratin, a hard protein that protects skin from harmful substances and infection. The keratin forms a scaly plug that blocks the opening of the hair follicle. Usually many plugs form, causing patches of rough, bumpy skin. No one knows exactly why keratin builds up, but it may occur in association with genetic diseases or with other skin conditions such as atopic dermatitis. Dry skin tends to worsen this condition. And there's definitely times where my arms are more red than usual. And there's times where, like, I don't know if you can see it right now. I've got a little bit of bump right there. but not as bad as it's been in the past. And I've started putting cortisone 10 on it to see if that helps reduce it. And I actually haven't looked to see if it's reduced any. But we'll see if that helps. But it's not sunburn. It's just keratosis pilaris. Now that you guys really wanted to know that. From this point, what I'm going to do is have a new start. So June 1st is my new start date. And I will base all of my information off that and pictures off the June 1st date and then kind of go from there. I feel it's good to kind of wipe the slate and start fresh because it's not quite so daunting a task. I have on my phone on the app, I use two different apps. MyFitnessPal, I think that's the name of it. Let's see. And all my videos have to be on the laptop right now because I cannot connect my phone to my laptop to be able to transfer all the video stuff. So I apologize for that. I know the phone is better quality, but you guys have seen the laptop as well when I'm doing reactions, so it works. But the two apps are MyFitnessPal, and I can do weight and my calories and stuff on there, although I'm not tracking my calories. Since you don't have to do that with this diet, I have not been doing that. I've just been tracking my weight in it. And I can show you my graph for the year because I took a snapshot of that. So I had to email it to myself so that I could post it for the video. There's my graph. And one of the things that I can do with the app is I can set goals. And I did not take a snapshot of that. If I do that, can I do it? I don't know if you guys can see that. So I can set the goals and it tells me how many calories to keep to if I want. Like I said, I'm not tracking it. So the calories, just the weight. So we'll see how things go for about 6 months. And if I need to, then I'll start tracking calories. I just prefer not to if I can help it. The other app that I use that tracks all the measurements, body measurements, is called Sculpt Body. And I haven't found a way to reset it. I can probably do it by uninstalling and then reinstalling it. But it's just a very simple app. Whoops. And the ones that are not in red are ones that I added. So I added the thighs, biceps, and neck. It already had the weight, bust, waist, and hips in it. And it has your goal for each one. Whoops. Has your goal for each one, the difference between the current weight and the goal, and your last date that you did things. But you can also go to your history. And so so for the weight, whoops, I keep pressing my sound. So for the weight, you can see it gives you the dates that you've logged in, what your weights are, and the difference. So you can see at one point there in March, I had gained 6 pounds. So to take it back down to only gaining 4 pounds, that's pretty good. So I'll take that. My lowest weight was 191 pounds. I'm not at that, but hopefully it won't be long and I will be at that. But that's what that app does for anybody who's interested. So you can see your history, your current, and track different things. I could add more things if I wanted. Here is, you can also do it in chart form. Figure out how to hold it so that I'm not. So there's the chart. I can't quite hold it straight. There we go. So just to give you an idea about things, so you can see where I gained the weight and then lost some of that weight that I gained. And so Sculpt Body, SCULPTBODY is the name of that app. And as I had said, I think in my first one, I only do my weight, and I try not to do my weight any more than once a week, because it's going to fluctuate and it'll drive yourself crazy if you do it every day. So I try to do it only once a week. And then the body measurements, I was doing weekly as well, but now I'm only doing them at the times that it's time to report to you guys, because the clothes can tell you if you're losing weight as well. And so I'm trying not to obsess over those numbers. And so I do those only when it's time to report to you guys. I'm going to do reports at every 2 months again. I think that is a good number, because it's not too often, but it's not too far apart either. And since we know a little bit more about COVID-19, I feel a little bit safer about going over to Dad's and having him take the pics, because we go into that backdrop is his shower curtain. And it's probably the cleanest backdrop out of his house and my house. And it puts me up so that he's not taking a top-down photo, which makes me look even heavier on top. I'm already heavy enough. I don't need to look heavier. So now that we know more about COVID-19, the fact that I'm more careful than Dad is, Dad's pretty careful, but he's just exposed more than I am, because he's got physical therapy that he's doing, which he does physical therapy at the hospital. And so I know that they're going to be pretty strict with people wearing masks and not touching and all that kind of stuff. I don't think his physical therapist has to touch him at all. I know, well, my physical therapist did do some stuff where they were touching me, they take a scraper on my calves, and it's supposed to do something to the fascia, because I have very sandpapery fascia. She couldn't get over how rough it was. But at any rate, so I don't think they have to touch him at all, though, because his is his shoulder, and it's about lifting it and that kind of stuff. But they may touch him a little bit, but if they do, they have gloves on, they have their masks on, they're probably keeping a distance. Dad's a former doctor, so I know that he's being careful. He goes to more places than I do. I order online for whatever I need. For most stuff, grocery store, post office, and pharmacy, and the bank are pretty much the only things I go in person to take care of. Everything else I've been ordering from Walmart, Sam's Club, Amazon, all that. So even some of the grocery stuff I order because my grocery store doesn't carry what I normally use. So until they get it back in, we're going to be ordering. So at any rate, I'm rambling. I realize I'm rambling. I'm sorry. So to wrap this up, I will see you guys in 2 months. So June, July, August 1st should be my 2-month update of the new cycle. I still have the same weight goal, 130 pounds. Like I said, that's a long ways off. That's 60 some pounds away. About 60, how much do I weigh right now? About 65 pounds away. So I'm not expecting any miracles. I have that goal. That is post-college weight. It was probably 5 years postgraduate that I weighed that much. I just felt that was a healthy weight to be at for my height because I'm 5'2". And even though I don't expect to hit that, I figured it doesn't hurt to have that as a goal, as long as I don't have my expectations too high. So, and as everybody can see, pretty. She's up on her perch. Did you hear me call your name? The ex-boyfriend had started calling her Hoot Owl because she'll just sit behind you or above you or whatever and just stare. And so he started calling her Hoot Owl, and now I've kind of continued it. Is Mommy getting less fat? Not as much belly? Still a lot of chest for you to lay on, but not as much belly for you to lay on. All right. I hope everybody has a good day. Enjoy the sunshine if you've got it. We finally have sunshine. Some of my videos that are coming up, you'll hear me complaining about the rain. Probably for the next month, you'll hear me complaining about the rain. But it is now sunny, and the basement is almost dry. Not completely dry, but almost dry. Now, on to the next update. So, thank you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful day.